is our Dr. Seuss inspired alphabet book template. There's a couple of things you can do with the tools in Google Presentation to make it interesting. For instance, you could go to Insert and you could insert images that you want to have to go along with this. You could also use word art and shapes, and you could also go to change the background and theme right here, change theme. You could have transitions between the slide. So we're going to look at a few of these things. For instance, one thing I wanted to do was add a shape in here. So what I can do is if I want to keep this Dr. Seuss part, I can highlight it and then press the Control and the C button on my computer, or if I don't want to do it that way, I can go here under Edit and go to Copy, and you can see it tells you that that's Control and C there. So I'm going to copy that because I want to use those words later, and I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that because I don't really want to have that in my title. That's going to be up to you how you want to title it. So what I'll do here is I'll insert the word art, and then I don't have to type again Dr. Seuss because I copied it. So I could push the Control and the V key to paste it in. Or if I don't want to do that, I can go up here to paste, and you can see it tells you that it's Control plus V. So then I do that, and that didn't really give me what I wanted. I didn't do that exactly right. I should have done Insert, Word Art, and then I go right in there, and I don't know if I can paste it like that. I can't. So in order to use the paste function, you are going to have to use Control and V when you're in the word art box, and then it'll work. So then there's my word art, and I'm going to move it up a little bit, and I don't really like the gray color, so I'm going to go up here, and it shows me that right now it's gray, and I'm going to change the color to red, and then I also don't like the background, so I'm going to change the theme. And if I pick a theme, it's going to go for every single one. But I think I'm looking through here, and this seems like a Dr. Seuss type one to me with the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that. And of course later I don't like it, I can always change it. And here where it says subtitle, I'm going to put my name in here. And you somewhere on the front of yours when you make it should have your name, so we know whose is whose. So another couple of things I wanted to look at is, let's look at the next slide. I think this would work really well for doing some different letter designs on this project. So what you could do is go to Insert, Shape, and this is kind of like the Valentine card Mrs. Thornburg showed us, and find a shape you like here. I'm looking through them and deciding which one I want to use. I think I kind of like this one right here I'm going to pick. So then I get this kind of T-looking thing, and that lets me figure out how big I want to make it. And I want to make it about that size. I don't want that click to add text in there, so I'm going to highlight this text box back here and hit delete to get rid of it. Then I'm going to reshape this a little bit by clicking on it. And remember, I want to drag at the corner if I want to make it the same size both ways. And it looks like I'm just moving it around. So somehow I got to get my mouse right there so that little double arrow is showing, and then that'll move it around. And there, I'm happy with that. Then I want to insert word art, because I want to make a really interesting looking A. So I just type an A there, and I could go like Dr. Seuss does in the book sometimes, like A and A, the little and the big one. I want to make it bigger because I want to make this a bold graphic statement about the A's. And I'm going to kind of center it in there. I don't think it's quite centered. That looks almost close. Going to move it over just a little bit. Then I'll click in there, and I will pick a different color because I want contrast, and I want something kind of bold. I like that somewhat, but I think it could be bolder looking. And I almost wonder if I don't want to change this background on this. So see here it says it's that color right now. And I'm going to change it to something like that. Starting to like that better, but I still feel like that color is a little dull, so I clicked in there and I can change this color now. And I want something bolder. Don't really like that, so I keep trying until I can even click on custom, and then I can be looking for colors in here, and I'm looking for something that's really high contrast, so I'm going to try that because I think that might work, and I definitely like that better. So this is something you can play around with as you're doing this. Another thing that I think is possible while you're doing this project is obviously you could go over here to research and search for images, and whatever words you come up with today, that while you're brainstorming with the dictionary, you could be looking for those pictures when you're doing this. So for instance, if you did A for apples, you could just drag the picture over, and there it is. And let's see, another A word might be antelopes. And you could drag a picture of an antelope over. And another A picture might be ants. And you could drag a picture of an ant over there. And then once you have that, you can arrange it like apples, ants, antelopes. And then you could go in here and move these pictures around until they look the way you want them to. And I click out of there just to give myself an idea of how it looks, and that's okay for now. I can always go back and change it more if I like. Now the next thing I think you could do with this that could be interesting in Google presentations is you could go ahead and you could do this for pictures too, but you could also do it for the letters. And I'm thinking where it is it, I'm trying to remember where drawing is. Oh, you could maybe go to insert. I'm wondering if we can insert a drawing. Oh yeah, we go here to insert line, and we can go to scribble. So say for instance you wanted to make a cursive B. Oh, that wasn't so good. So I'm going to take that out. I'm also taking this text box out because I'm not going to use that here. And I know that when I have a bigger line, I can do a better job. So I'm picking the scribble, and then I'm also wondering where I can pick my line size. Right now I'm not seeing that, so I'm just going to draw it first and then see if I can figure that out. Oops, I think I'm on the wrong thing. There I am on scribble, and I'm going to try again. I'm not the best at drawing with a mouse, and this is also a laptop mouse. But I like the way it changed there. It looks pretty good, actually. And I'm thinking those of you who, you'll be on the computer lab doing this, and so you'll have a real mouse, and that might be easier. So there I'm drawing my cursive letters, and I'm thinking if I could make that a bolder color. I'm going to go into custom and look for a color. And I'm thinking I want to go for something really bright. And I like that. And I want to do it to the other one, and I have to select it too because I drew them separately. They are two different things. Now what I'm wondering is, I can change the line color. Oh, and here's where I can change the line weight. I want to make it big and bold. I like that quite a bit. That was 12 point. So I'm going to click on this one, and I'm also going to change this to 12 point. So then I have some drawn letters, which I think look pretty interesting. And I think you could also experiment with this to draw simple shapes. For instance, on the last picture, I could have probably used this tool to draw an ant or an apple. So those are some of the ideas I have for how you could be creative with this project. And I bet you have some other ideas too. And I'll be fascinated to see what you come up with.